Natural resources are the things that humans need. They're provided by the planet and they help us to succeed. They fall into two categories, renewable and non. They provide us food and energy, water, commerce, and so on. Non-renewable resources are ones we can use up because they take so long for Mother Nature to build up. Fossil fuels are things we burn to release their energy. We can make our engines run or produce our electricity. Coal is combustible rock with high carbon levels. Swamps got buried millions of years ago, solidifying plant material. There are 4 types we mine. Now some pros of the industry. There's less for now, it's a source of power and it's pretty cheap. The downsides are it will run out and mining has its risks. Burning it puts out CO2. There are environmental conflicts. Oil exists in a liquid down below the surface. Crude oil is refined and separated into useful products. The US imports lots of oil because our super high consumption far exceeds the volume of our domestic production. Some pros, it's cheap, stable, and the infrastructure's there. Some cons, it's non-renewable and burning it pollutes the air. Natural gas is another fossil fuel that we can find underground in silt and sand. We put it into pipelines. It burns pretty clean and quite efficiently, but it's non-renewable and will run out eventually. Nuclear energy is a topic of heated debate. It's super clean with lots of power, so why all the hate? The biggest problem is the radioactive waste. It's hazardous for millennia now. That's a long time to wait. Of course, there's also the possibility of a meltdown, wreaking havoc on the environment and everyone around. With so many safeguards in place, you think it couldn't happen, but oops, Chernobyl, Fukushima, 3 Mile Island. Natural resources are the things that humans need. They're provided by the planet. They help us to succeed. They fall into 2 categories, renewable and non. They provide us food and energy, water, commerce, and so on. Renewable resources might be the better of the 2, because Mother Nature brings them back no matter what we do. Solar is a good example because the sun seems here to stay, bombarding us with radiation every single day. We harness it, we use it to heat with simplicity. With solar panels, we can also produce electricity. The downside is the sun goes down for most of us every night, and then there are those cloudy days with no direct sunlight. Wind's another resource that will always be occurring somewhere on this planet as long as it is turning. Wind turbines run cleanly and produce no greenhouse gas. Even with the low maintenance costs, there's still some backlash. Wind isn't constant everywhere, making this a limited option, and large turbines can kill wildlife migrating in their fashion. The initial cost is very high for the structures and power lines, and some people think they're ugly, blocking the natural skyline. Hydropower uses water to produce electricity. There's no pollution, no toxic waste, but all that isn't free. The upfront cost is super high. Sometimes there are water disputes, and decimating ecosystems are the cons of the hydro fruit. Geothermal utilizes the heat inside the planet. It rises toward the surface through the fissures in the granite. Once it's tapped, it's constant and generally free, but again, the upfront cost is high and there's limited availability. Finally, there's biomass, which is using living things to burn for heat, turn into fuel, and make electricity. They're widely available, sort of cheap and good for waste reduction, but they require a lot of water and compete with food production. Renewable resources exhibit sustainability, making them a better choice for long-term stability. Tech advances are increasing our human ability to rely on renewables with more dependability. Natural resources are either renewable or non. They provide us food and energy, water, commerce, and so on. Natural resources are the things that we all need. They're provided by the planet and they help us to succeed.